What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here in the OddsShopper channel, coming to you with an NFL Monday night edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me, and this video goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I love this card. It is already posted in Tails. Tails, that is the community that we have over at OddsShopper where you can tail my plays. As soon as I make a bet, it comes to your phone. It's as easy as that. Wouldn't you know it? Sunday. Well, we had a really nice day there with Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews. Those were not on the Lindy's videos, but as I researched the NFL all day long, the NBA all day long, stuff shows up that I can't account for the night before. And, recorded that on Saturday even, but got to Sunday, hit both Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, anytime touchdown numbers. Actually had a $50 parlay together, made over $500 on that one, paid out better than plus 900 over at FanDuel. That was fun times. If you want to join in on the fun times, again, boom, there it is. Tough actin' Tinactin. Lindy 6-0. Simple as that. But we got ourselves NFL action going for Monday. We're going to Denver. They're hosting Cleveland. This should be fun, but I actually love this game and this card. Let's talk through it. A lean, something I'm thinking about betting. A like, that's something that I have bet usually around a half unit, which is what this is. And a lock, this is a full unit send. So, producer Jacob, without further ado, let's get to the picks. The Cleveland Browns and Jameis Winston, the 3-8 Jameis Winston Snowbirds. That was such a fun football game. Let's be dead serious. And I hit the anytime touchdowns I needed to in that game to really not just keep it afloat, but make a nice profit on a game where it was the first lock miss in like 2.5 weeks on a primetime game. And we've just been rolling here on this program. Hopefully you've been tailing. Hopefully you've enjoyed, but I don't want to gloat too much because, well, this is a tough game, I think, from a handicapping perspective on the spread and the total. Sitting directly on 6. Now, Cleveland is 4-7 against the spread. It's just such a flip-flop. It's one of those things where you can't just look at those type numbers and then back Pittsburgh. For me, it just came down to I thought Pittsburgh was a good football team. They showed it against Cincinnati today in much better weather, but they ran into that trappy spot against Cleveland. Cleveland came to fruition, and Jameis Winston in the snow. What could you even say about that? That was actually fun to watch. But Denver here, Bo Nix starting to show out a little bit here for the Denver Broncos. You didn't really see him chucking the ball a lot. 5.6 yards per attempt there in the first 8 weeks of the season. 3.9 it was, but 5.6 here recently over the last 4 weeks, that would be. We're seeing a lot of good stuff out of Bo Nix, getting the ball further downfield. And we're also seeing a decent enough run game here with Javonte Williams. He's definitely the lead back over Audric Esteem and Khalil McLaughlin, so let that be known. Sean Payton, what are we doing? Why are we trying to always distract away from the gold, the shiny thing? I think he's outtouched both of them every single week but one, that Kansas City week, which was just weird, but whatever. We're looking at Cortland Sutton. We're looking at Devon Veely, who's somebody who's seen that target share go up. Lil Jordan Humphrey, I love the name. And Troy Franklin, a former quack duck, friend of Mr. Bo Nix. But as I break this game down, everything has me landing on Denver -6, and I'm still having a tough time pulling the trigger, and here's why. It's a Monday night game. You're coming off of, again, football where Jameis Winston has had, Jekyll and Hyde, and this Denver defense, I don't think anybody's going to argue that they are insane. Patrick Surtain, heard he's pretty good at the footballs, haven't you? Yeah, one of the best corners that exists out there, combing the desert on a daily basis, and, I guess snow is like desert-like too, so there's that. But anyway, we're going to be paying very close attention here to what happens with some of the actives and actives. Overall, it looks like a pretty clean game. We've got most of that news here already, but something might pop up from time to time here. But again, I just run so many iterations of it. It has me landing on Denver, laying the points, and yet I'm having a tough time. And the main reason is I think Nick Chubb is going to get healthier. He's going to look better. And it's not just that he had 2 touchdowns and, hey, we need to buy into him being back, because he's still been ineffective on the ground by all means, but it's just one of those spots where he can help lower the variance of a game if he starts to get healthier and gets going. He hadn't played football for a long freaking time, and I felt like a lot of people in the fantasy community were really hammering that point home and he's not back. He's inefficient. He's going to be terrible going forward. He's not that. He's just, they don't have a ton to play for, if we're being dead honest, besides establishing some of these younger pieces. Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore on the outside. Jamari Thrash probably going to mix in. We saw only 13 snaps for him last time out. But again, we've seen a lot of interesting pieces here. I mean, Cedric Tillman going to be out for this one, so that's one wide receiver piece that is really going to matter. But Denver -6, I'm not playing it as of right now. We can put that in the lean category, producer Jacob. But yeah, Denver -6, definitely something I'm thinking about betting for this game, but haven't pulled the trigger. Hopefully, it drops inside of it. I think 5.5. Not that that's a key number, but when you're talking NFL these days, you watched kicking lately, it is Jekyll and Hyde-ish, to say the very least. But that's kind of the way I describe Jameis Winston already, which leads me into my first play. Why is Jerry Jeudy just at 57.5 receiving yards here? You're going into Mile High Stadium. You're a dog. You really are having difficulty establishing the run overall still with Nick Chubb. So, I mean, I just got done defending him. Now I'm throwing him under the bus. Make up your mind, Eric. But what this comes down to is Patrick Surtain not going to be somebody that goes out into the slot very often. He's covering all the time out wide, 558 of his snaps. If you're going to avoid him, and yes, you do have Levi Wallace going out there, but Jerry Jeudy's going to be out of the slot most of this game, if not the entire game, against his former team. Not that that matters very much, but he's got a much more serviceable quarterback. I would have this number set much higher than 57.5. I'd have it closer to 68, 67. Now, the reason it's not going to be a lock in this department is it's at -113 on FanDuel right now. That's kind of where they've been setting these prop numbers. Again, 26 cents on both sides of it together. I mean, the hold is just getting ridiculous on some of these props, but in the NFL streets, you got to want it. And I feel like my numbers are more efficient than what I'm looking at here on the boards at Sportsbook. So Jerry Jeudy over 57.5 receiving yards. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Actually, I don't love it. It's not a lock. I'll talk about the lock in a second. After Tails, yes, friends, Tails, sign up using Lindy60 down at the link below. Would love to see you there. I'm going to give you my favorite play from this game. And, well, if anything else shows up here in the NFL streets, you can sign up down below. If you want my entire NBA card, well, sign up down below. There's so much uncertainty in the NBA streets with some of these injury news. You want to be signed up because as soon as I make a bet, it goes live to your phone and you can place it and tail me directly from that app. That is an awesome addition for you. And again, it's $20 into $8 for a week using this promo code. It is $50 into $20 for a month using Lindy60 down below. Sign up. Would love to see you there. And hey, this is expiring on Monday night, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Sign up before then. Alrighty, y'all. Let's get to my favorite play. To the lock we go. An outlier week for Javonte Williams. I repeat, Kansas City, the one game where he basically got benched and sent to the Shadow Realm. And I think this number does account for just random potential of Sean Payton saying, hey, Audric Esteem, it's your week, my friend. It's your week. But if this game plays remotely normally and Javonte Williams gets his 8 to 10 carries at least, I love 34.5 rushing yards here because, again, Javonte Williams, 3.7 yards per carry. Give me 10 of those. That's 37 right from the get-go. That's not necessarily how this works, but when you sim out this game and you look at multiple iterations of it, there's Javonte Williams going for 60, 70, 80. I'm going to be looking at alternate numbers on him in addition to this. Hopefully we don't wake up in the morning and hear, hey, Javonte Williams is going to get benched for Jaleel McLaughlin, which, again, it's Sean Payton. It's live to happen. But I do think that risk is really baked into this number already, which is why I'm jamming Javonte Williams over 34.5 rushing yards. He's out-touched those other two every other week besides the Kansas City week. He's still your lead back, even though it's kind of a three-headed monster at this point. And it's a Cleveland defense that, yes, they had one good week in many weeks here. And yes, Myles Garrett's a freak in terms of pass rushing, but I like their ability to at least establish 35 yards of rushing for Javonte here on Monday night. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know how your Sunday NFL betting went. Yeah, it ended up being fantastic over there in Tails. I'm happy about it overall. Felt pretty good about all of the reads. Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, I was just looking down the line here on my list as I was updating my bet tracker. And, well, feel pretty darn good about everything. If you guys want to join, come kick it. 60% off using code Lindy60. Also, yeah, let's just crush Monday night. That would be awesome. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NFL streets for Monday Night Football.